back and welcome to another book discussion video. I recently hauled Are You There, God? It's Me Margaret by Judy Blume, this gorgeous pink edition that matches my hair, and I read this just yesterday in one sitting. I had been interested in looking back at some of the Judy Blume novels that I'd read when I was younger because this time 2 years ago I made a video talking about this. I reread Forever by Judy Blume, which is one of those almost rites of passage that everyone seems to read when they're a teenage girl, and it's a lot of people's first introduction to sex in literature. I'm sure it isn't nowadays, but when I was growing up, it was. And I was interested to see what the other novels would look like. You may remember from that video that I talked about the fact that I was a little bit disappointed having read it again. So this was first published in 1975 and this edition was published in 84. So you can see they were published a little while ago. But yeah, I was a little bit disappointed in reading Forever. As I say, I talked about it in that video. So I wanted to get myself a copy of my other favourite Judy Blume novel, probably the other really well-known novel, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, and do a reread of this one. You can see I've tabbed a couple of things that I want to talk about. But overall, this was a really positive reread. This is probably designed for slightly younger readers than Forever. I think I was 10 when I read this, and Margaret in the book is 11 and turns 12, so that's the kind of age that we're talking about. This one is 150 pages and it's quite large print. It's not too much to read on the page, whereas my copy of Forever is very small print. It's very tiny. So yeah, so this is definitely what I would call probably middle grade. But I just had forgotten what an awesome introduction this book is to kind of growing up and going through puberty, and what that means to you and what it means to your friendship group, and kind of how to deal with that with your family and with other people around you, and what to talk about and what to keep to yourself and that kind of thing. I still think that this stands today as a really good coming of age novel, and I was really impressed when I reread it. A couple of things shocked me when I was rereading it. Obviously, the synopsis is Margaret Simon can't wait to grow up. Her new friends swear they'll tell each other everything. First brows, first kisses, first periods, everything. But some things are just too private to talk about, even with your friends. Especially when you're the new girl at school and are trying to fit in. Luckily for Margaret, she's got someone else to confide in. Someone who always listens. We know from the title who that is. But we don't even get as far as page 6 before we have the first mention of puberty and getting boobs and starting your period. They talk about, so she meets a new friend, Nancy, and they are getting changed in front of each other, and Nancy goes, "Oh, you're still flat." Not exactly, I said, pretending to be very cool. "I'm small boned is all." "I'm growing already," Nancy said, sticking her chest out. "In a few years, I'm going to look like one of those girls in Playboy." Also, there's a lot of mention of Playboy in this, and I don't think that as a 10-year-old or an 11-year-old, I had much knowledge of Playboy. But yeah, the talk of boobs and periods and kissing boys starts right on page 6 in the second chapter. So if you're thinking that this book will be an easy journey into girls' coming of age and puberty, then you will be mistaken. The other thing that struck me about the mention of puberty and the handling of puberty in this book is that they have one girl in their class who, she's had boobs since 4th grade, and she addresses this and she kind of speaks to Margaret and says, you know, it's not nice having to cross your arms over your chest. It's not nice being the tallest and the biggest in the class and the one with the biggest boobs in the class. And it's odd because, you know, you're different and people look at you because you're different and people talk about you because you're different. And I think that that's a really good point to raise, and it's something which young adult literature literature and middle grade literature is doing so much more of these days, and it was you know, being done back when this was written. So yeah, massive brownie points to you, Judy Blume. That is a fantastic message to get out there. One of the other things that kind of shocked me in a sense, but also the fact that it's kind of good to have in a book, is that Margaret and Nancy go to a party from someone in their class. It's their 12th birthday party, and they're like, let's play spin the bottle, which again, I'm not sure if I was playing spin the bottle at that age. It was interesting. Maybe that's a UK versus US thing, I don't know, but it says you've got to kiss whoever's nearest to where the bottle points. No fair boy kissing boy or girl kissing girl, which kind of is where the novel shows its age a little bit. And then, after getting a little bit fed up with spin the bottle, this goes, this is really stupid, let's play 2 minutes in the closet. We all get a number, and then somebody starts by calling, like, number 6, and those two go in the closet for 2 minutes, and well, you know. It's like, I was a little bit shocked by that as well, I have to say. I don't remember that being a thing when I was 12, but yeah, maybe it was. But yeah, it's kind of forward thinking at the same time as being a little bit old-fashioned. You can see in some points where it is dated, but at the same time, yeah, really forward thinking. And then throughout the whole novel, Margaret is struggling with the fact that she's been brought up without a religion, and she has friends who have a religion. She has a Catholic friend, somebody who attends a Methodist church, and somebody else who's Jewish. Her mother was brought up Christian, her father was brought up Jewish, her grandmother is Jewish, the grandmother that she sees regularly. And so she struggles the whole way with religion, and she decides to make that her 6th grade project, is to kind of look at religion and what religion means to her, and she wants to have decided what religion she is by the time she gets to the end of 6th grade. Her teacher is a man, which is a thing that comes up as, oh my goodness, and you know, a 6th grade teacher who's a man, whoa. So I guess male teachers weren't as big of a thing back then as they are now. But she writes him this letter about her thoughts on religion, which I know is a little bit of a spoiler, so you can skip this part if you don't want to hear it, but I'm assuming that a lot of you have read this, but I was really impressed by this letter, and so I want to share it with you. Dear Mr. Benedict, I have conducted a year-long experiment in religion. I have not come to any conclusions about what religion I want to be when I grow up, if I want to be any special religion at all. I have read 3 books on this subject. They are Modern Judaism, A History of Christianity and Catholicism, Past and Present. I went to church services at the First Presbyterian Church of Farbrook. I went to the United Methodist Church of Farbrook on Christmas Eve. I attended Temple Israel of New York City on Rosh Hashanah, which is a Jewish holiday. I went to confession at St. Bartholomew Church, but I had to leave the confessional because I didn't know what to say. I've not tried being Buddhist or a Muslim because I don't know any people of these religions. I have not really enjoyed my religious experiments very much, and I don't think I'll make up my mind one way or the other for a long time. I don't think a person can decide to be a certain religion just like that. It's like having to choose your own name. You think about it a long time, and then you keep changing your mind. If I should ever have children, I will tell them what religion they are so they can start learning about it at an early age. 12 is very late to learn. Sincerely, Margaret Ann Simon. And I just think that that is so forward thinking. It's very kind of brave of a writer to tackle religion in that way, have a character trying to decide about the religion that they want to be and kind of testing out various different religions. And then Margaret is very forward thinking in going, you know, I'm not sure yet, so I'm not going to make up my mind. It's not like, oh, well, I have to pick one of these because I only know people of that religion. She goes, yeah, I'm not sure yet, so I'm not making up my mind yet. But I think that I will raise my children with our religion and then they can decide. I just think that that kind of really surprised me, the fact that she was on this quest throughout the novel and she came to that conclusion at the end. So yeah, my reread of Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret by Judy Blume was a really positive one, and there was some standout points which I've shared with you now. Definitely preferred my reread of that one to my reread of Forever, which kind of, I think I had rose tinted glasses when I was thinking about it because I had just loved that novel for so long, because it was just so amazing to read about sex and have an author write about sex for children at that point. So I think that's why I had too high expectations going into Forever. So I tried not to have any expectations going into Are You There God, It's Me Margaret, which I think I listened to on audiobook the first time, so it was interesting seeing it on the page as well. But yeah, those are my thoughts on my reread. Let me know if you've reread any of your childhood favourites and what you felt about them. It would be interesting to see if other people have had similar experiences, and let me know if there's anything else you'd like me to kind of come back to as an adult that you may have read as a child, to see if we have a similar experience for your book. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and make sure you're subscribed so that my next video lands in your subscription feed, and I will see you with my next video then. Bye.